They say you can never truly know someone. But what if the person you misjudge is the one you thought you knew best? One moment, life feels perfect, like everything is falling into place. The next, a single sentence changes everything. We need to talk. What do you do when the person you love starts to slip away, and you're left wondering if you ever really knew them at all? Hey, I'm David, and I'm 28 years old. I come from a small town where everyone knows everyone's business. I grew up with my parents and my younger sister Emma. My parents, like many others in our town, were both teachers, so we had a pretty normal, calm upbringing. Nothing too exciting, just school work and the occasional weekend barbecue. For the most part, I thought I had life figured out. I knew what I wanted to do for a living, I had a few close friends, and I had a girlfriend, Hannah. Our relationship was solid. We'd been dating for almost 2 years, and everything seemed perfect. Or so I thought. But life has a funny way of throwing curveballs at us when we least expect it. You think you have things all figured out, and then, bam, you're left scratching your head, wondering if you ever knew anything at all. It started one Saturday afternoon. I'd been working on my car in the driveway when Hannah stopped by to visit. We'd made plans to grab dinner together that evening, but she was acting different. At first I didn't think much of it. Maybe she was just tired or had something on her mind. We'd all been there, but as she sat down beside me, something was off. She didn't smile the way she usually did, and she seemed distracted, like she was miles away. After a few minutes of awkward silence, she finally spoke. "David? I think we need to talk." Those words, "we need to talk," hit me like a punch in the gut. I'd heard that phrase before from friends, family, even movies, and it never meant anything good. My heart raced, and my mind started spinning with all the worst-case scenarios. I thought, what could be so bad that she wanted to talk now? She took a deep breath and without looking at me said, "I'm not happy anymore. I think we need a break." To say I was shocked would be an understatement. I could feel the ground shifting beneath my feet. A break? What does that even mean? We've been together for 2 years. Sure, we had some disagreements, but every couple does. We always talked through things. We were solid. I tried to stay calm. "Hannah, wait. What are you saying? What's going on? We're fine, aren't we?" She shrugged, her voice soft but firm. "It's just... I don't know, David. I feel like we've drifted apart. I need space to figure things out." Her words stung, but I didn't want to seem desperate. Space? Was this really happening? I could feel panic bubbling inside me, but I tried to hide it. "Hannah, we can work through this. We always do. Please, just talk to me. Tell me what's wrong." She paused for a moment, then finally looked at me. Her eyes were filled with a mixture of sadness and uncertainty, like she didn't even believe the words she was saying. "I just need time. I don't know if I'm in love with you anymore." I didn't know how to react to that. The world seemed to slow down, and I could feel the weight of her words pressing on my chest. My hands were shaking, but I tried to hold it together. "But we've been through so much together. We've made plans. We've talked about the future. What happened to all of that?" She stood up, pacing back and forth as she spoke. "I know, David, but I just don't feel the same anymore. I need to find myself. I need to figure out who I am without you." Those words hung in the air like a bomb ready to explode. She needed to find herself? What did that mean for us? What had I done wrong? As I tried to wrap my head around what was happening, I noticed her phone buzzing in her pocket. She glanced down at it, her face suddenly pale. She didn't answer, but the look on her face was enough to make my heart sink even further. "What's going on?" I asked, my voice trembling slightly. Hannah's eyes darted nervously, and for the first time I saw something in her that I didn't recognize. Guilt. She hesitated before answering. "It's nothing. Just a friend." But the way she said it felt off, like she was hiding something. The uneasy feeling in my gut intensified. Was there someone else? The next few days felt like I was living in a fog. I tried to stay busy, but everything reminded me of her. The photos on my phone, the smell of her perfume in my jacket, the plans we'd made. It was like my world had been turned upside down and I was trying to find my balance again. I called her multiple times, but she wouldn't answer. I texted her, asking her to talk to me, but nothing. Silence. I kept thinking, what did I do wrong? I couldn't stop the questions from flooding my mind. Had I not been there for her enough? Did I take her for granted? Or had she just fallen out of love with me? The doubt and sadness crept into my bones, making everything feel heavy. And then one night, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I sat in front of my computer, staring at the screen, feeling completely lost. My fingers hovered over the keyboard as I began typing a message to her. Hannah, please. Just tell me the truth. If there's someone else, I'd rather know. If you're done with me, then at least I can stop hoping. I need closure. I hit send, not knowing what to expect, but knowing I couldn't keep living in the dark. I wasn't the only one affected by this. My family, my friends, they could see something was wrong. My mom kept asking if I was okay, but I couldn't bring myself to tell her the truth. It hurt too much. The memory came. One day my best friend Josh finally confronted me. David, what's going on? You're not yourself lately. You've been distant. I wanted to break down in front of him, but I didn't. Instead, I just shrugged and said, It's Hannah. I don't know what's happening, man. I'm lost. Josh just nodded, offering me a knowing look. Listen, whatever it is, you're gonna get through this. You always do. But you need to talk to her. Don't let this linger, dude. A few days after I sent the message, Hannah finally replied. But it wasn't what I expected. I think we need to end things, David. I don't want to hurt you, but I can't keep pretending. I'm sorry. That was it. A few words that shattered everything. No explanation, no real closure, just goodbye. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what to do with myself. One moment I thought we had a future together. The next I was facing the reality that it was over. But still, something didn't sit right with me. Why had she been so distant? Was it really just that simple? And why did her phone buzz that day? Was there someone else? So, what do you think? Was it just a breakup? Or was there more to it than that? Have you ever been in a situation like this? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and if you've been through something similar, I'm sure many of us can relate. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Who knows? Maybe your story could be the next one I tell.